What's going on, everybody? This is Echo. Welcome to the Echoisthename podcast, episode 10. I'm going to talk to you tonight about how I recently discovered that I've been living my life without even realizing it as a stoic. You might have an idea in your head of what a stoic is, and it might have something to do with this definition that you can Google. It says the endurance of pain or hardship without a display of feelings and without complaint. It's not accurate. It's probably what a lot of people think a stoic is, like this cold, unfeeling, heartless, emotionless, boring, sad, kind of doesn't give a shit person. It's not true. So it started back in early 3rd BC in Athens. This guy named Zeno of Citium, he was kind of talking to intellectuals back in Athens, where all the intellectuals hung out in the town square, whatever, and they kicked it on a porch. And stoa means porch. So that's where we get stoicism from. The philosophy started to spread all over the place, spread into Rome. A lot of famous people you might have heard of were Stoics. You have Seneca, he was a Stoic. Epictetus, he was a slave that was actually let go by his master eventually. But he was a Stoic, a famous Stoic. And then you have, of course, Marcus Aurelius, who was the Roman emperor. He was basically a god. So I made a post recently on Instagram about this discovery of mine, of myself being a Stoic. And I'm going to read it out, and then I'm going to kind of break down a little bit of it so it makes a little more sense. Constantly seeking self-improvement. That's what Stoicism really at its core is. And it's done by following these 4 things, these 4 virtues. Virtue means moral excellence, I guess, doing the good, doing the most good you can do while you're here. That's what people define virtue as, being virtuous. Wisdom in the sense of having the ability to remain calm under pressure and to navigate complex situations by being well informed and applying logic and reason, which were God-given to you. This means gathering knowledge about situations, learning all the time, even small, seemingly innocuous lessons throughout the course of your day. Meditating, yoga, talking to intelligent sources about topics that are of interest, having a little bit of understanding of deductive logic and informal fallacies and syllogisms and things like that also help. That's one of the 4 cardinal virtues. The next one is temperance, or self-restraint. It's the ability to exercise self-restraint in moderation. Kind of knowing the middle, knowing that the world is usually in the state of 2 poles with extremes. And you try to find the middle, the balance in all of it, in everything. It's exercising self-restraint. Not overdoing it, trying not to be addicted to things too much, trying not to rely on external things too much to satisfy you, to make you feel good, things like that. Not to eat garbage, not to know better, to show restraint, to know not to go too far, to know your own limits as far as what you can and can't do. The next one is justice. That means treating everyone with fairness, even when you feel wronged by somebody. That could be a shitty business practice, a homie lying to you, getting cheated on by your girl, being stolen from, being slandered by somebody. Kind of still just seeing the fact that everybody's wounded in some way, shape, or form, including yourself. And knowing that that's where a lot of the things that, when it comes to being wronged, if you will, by somebody, that's where that stems from. It's from their own shit. Justice also meaning fighting injustice for other people whenever possible, if they can't fight for themselves especially. That falls in line with me as far as protesting, trying to wake up the people I feel are asleep or too comfortable with the way things are. Sharing my future goals and my revolutionary tactics. Just fighting injustice, man. Standing up for the little people, standing up for anybody who's not getting, fair shake. I mean, fair is very subjective, but I think we all have a kind of underlining understanding of what fair means and what injustice and justice is. So that's the 3 of the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, temperance, justice, and the last one being courage. Courage, like not just being courageous in extraordinary circumstances when you really need to be courageous, but being courageous on daily shit, little shit, just living your life, being courageous, getting up and existing and going out of your house and trusting that you're going to come back. Just being courageous with clarity and integrity, knowing when to be courageous and when not, and certainly not falling into the vice of cowardice. You want to live virtuous, you want to do the right thing. And that's where all this really stems from. It ultimately, for me anyway, is about seeking self-improvement by being happy. Just knowing that the universe is divided into two parts. One I control and one I don't. The one that I control is me. That's all I control in this entire thing. And the other side of the universe is everything else. I don't control anything else. I don't control my reputation. I don't control my health for the most part. I don't control wealth. I don't control fame. I don't control being liked by people. I don't control situations. I don't control external events. My life is based on my perception of life and what I see in life. And what I know I control is myself, my mind, how I perceive the world. I know that there's 7 billion different realities going on within this one reality we're all a part of. We're all part of the whole, of nature, of God, whatever you want to call it. We come from a primordial fire, a cosmic fire that erupted almost 15 billion years ago. And from that, we arose at one point. We're souls. So we have to navigate as such. We're souls having a human experience. So when you realize that you are a soul and that you control yourself, when you realize you control you, it's a lot easier to navigate life, man. It really erases a lot of bullshit that you probably go through on a daily basis, that you get caught up in, that you allow to overwhelm you emotionally, that you allow yourself to be caught up in. You lose control of yourself. You say, I can't help it. I can't do that. Or whatever the case may be. You can. All you control is you. You're the only one that's actually responsible for your perception of this experience in the firmament of your mind. You decide it. It's not up to anybody else. Nobody can affect you if you don't let them affect you, because everything you're seeing from inside of yourself. I mean, literally, light is bouncing off matter that's sitting in the ether, and it's reflecting back to you. Your eyes are flipping it upside down so you can see it properly, and then you're judging it with your mind. So you're seeing with your mind. Everything is being projected from the inside of your mind, and you're seeing it and dissecting it. You're processing it, all the information, the bits of data out there. You control how you perceive it. You control your emotions. You control you. So that's what I decided I've been doing my whole life at a certain level. And now I'm just taking it to another level because now I'm aware of it. And that's the dope part about all this shit. I'll sum it up by saying, if anything ever happens to you when you're about to get overwhelmed with emotion in some way, shape, or form, ask yourself before you do that, could I have had a reasonable expectation of what just happened happening? You have to ask yourself, has this ever happened to any human being in the history of mankind? Or has it happened to somebody I know or heard about? Or has it happened to me before? If the answer is yes to any of those, then yes, you should have had a reasonable expectation. You could have had a reasonable expectation of what just happened. So there's no need in being shocked about that shit, right? It happens. I mean, look, suffering is part of the human condition. You're a soul having a human experience, so you're going to suffer. You're going to go through pain. You're going to get some pleasure. You're going to get a lot of different things, so just accept it for what it is, life. Once again, Echoisthename.com is the website. My Twitter and Instagram is Echoisthename. And my YouTube is youtube.com/TheRealEchoisthename. See you next time.